Boys, welcome back to another video, and today we are back with our very first FIFA 23 Squad Battles Tips video. And today, I'm going to be explaining how to get maximum points per game. Now, just to be clear, this is not the gameplay video. The gameplay on Legendary and the gameplay on Ultimate will be coming to the channel, but I just need a bit more time, to get used to the game, get used to what works, what doesn't work. You get the idea. Those videos will be coming though. But today, I am just going to be quite literally explaining what you need to do and what you need to avoid doing to get the maximum points per match. And before you ask, these tips work on every single difficulty, whether you're playing on beginner or whether you're playing on ultimate. The only difference is you get more points the higher the difficulty you do it on. But the things you actually need to do don't change at all. So if you could do me a favor, boys, go down and smack a like on the video. I make this video every year, and I think this is going to be the best version of it. Usually, I show gameplay and I drag everything out. This year, I'm just going to get on with it, tell you what you need to know, so you can go and take it into the game and get as many points as possible. So, let's do this. The first thing you need to focus on, and I would say like the most important thing by far, is scoring your 5 goals per game. There's always been this thing where people will ask me, Dan, how are you getting as many points as you are? Playing on Ultimate, you must be winning 11, 12-0. And no, that is not the case, because no matter what difficulty you're on, the maximum goals you can score is 5. After that, you don't get any more points for scoring goals. So once you've got your 5, it's better to focus on other things. And the next thing that I usually focus on is getting 10 shots on target per game. Again, like the goals, once you get 10 shots on target, you cannot get any more points for getting shots on target. So once you've got your 5 goals, next focus on getting your 10 shots on target. Then after that, it is 10 corners per game. So again, much with the shots on target. Once you've got your goals and you've got your shots on target, then start focusing your 10 corners per game. Now, this can be a little bit difficult because grinding corners sometimes can be really, really hard. It's also really boring. So I understand if you don't want to do that, but if you are trying to get the maximum points per game, you're trying to get like a first in the world finish or grind for the top 200, then you need to be focusing your 10 corners. And it is worth mentioning that these 3 things now, I would say, are the most important things. Like, if you're going into a game, the other stuff I'm going to mention after this is not as important in terms of getting maximum points. These are the 3 main focuses, but I'll keep explaining what else you can do as well. So on to number 4, and it is 10 tackles per game. You kind of can't do anything about this, I mean, you could purposely give the ball away and try and tackle it back, but ultimately the way me and Matty always find is that basically you kind of get as many tackles as you just get naturally. So it's worth mentioning you do get points per tackle, up to 10. But you kind of can't rig that, you just get what you get. Then on to number 5, it is points per percentage of possession and pass percentage. Now that might sound a bit complicated, but it's really not. Basically, if you check the in-game stats, you'll get a percentage of possession and a percentage of pass accuracy. And you get 1 point per percentage of that. I believe it's capped at like 75 or 80, so you can't have like 100% pass accuracy and get a full 100 points. But I think up to 75% or 80%, you do get 1 point per percentage of possession. It might sound complicated, but it's really not. And the last thing that I don't think I've mentioned in one of these videos before is getting man of the match. I don't know how big of a bonus it is, but you do get a slight bonus if the man of the match of the match, or the man of the match of the game, is on your team. So, yeah. I mean, if you score a hat-trick with a player, you're probably going to get him man of the match anyway. So, it is worth mentioning, I guess, that you do get a few extra points if you get the man of the match. So that basically covers the things that you can do to get maximum points per game. Now we're going to take a look at the things you need to avoid doing to take away from your points per game. So number 1 is conceding goals up to a maximum of 4. Now it's worth mentioning that the first goal is the most important one, because once you concede for the first time, you lose your clean sheet bonus. And now I can't exactly put a number on this because depending on what difficulty you're playing on, the number changes, but it's a big number. It's a big number. So once you concede that first goal, it's pretty bad. You need to be trying to keep your clean sheet as best as you can. But once you do lose your clean sheet, or if you do lose your clean sheet, don't think, well, I've conceded now, so I may as well give up, because you keep losing points up to a maximum of 4 goals per game. So you want to try and keep it away from that 4 goals as much as possible, but ideally, you're keeping clean sheets. Number 2 is yellow and red cards. Again, I can't put an exact number of points on this depending on what difficulty you're playing on, but yellow and red cards do cost you points, especially red cards. They are quite a hefty chunk of points, so yeah, just try and avoid getting yellow and red cards as best you can. And then number 3 is fouls in general. So obviously you're getting points taken away from yellow and red cards. You also get points taken away per foul. It's not much. Again, you are going to foul people. It is going to happen. It's a football game. You know, you're going to make fouls. But, you know, if you are someone who's rash going into a lot of slide tackles, try and cut that down so you can avoid, obviously, fouls and yellow and red cards. And the final thing that can get you losing points is offsides. Again, it's kind of going to happen. But if you're playing co-op, you know, I guess you can try and be a bit better about it and time your runs better. But yeah, offsides will happen, but it's worth mentioning that you do lose a very small amount of points per offside. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. So I know there was a lot of information in this video to take in. I hope it helped you out, by the way. I hope you learned something that you maybe didn't know. But if you're wanting to know exactly what you need to take away from this video, it's basically score 5 goals, keep your clean sheet, get your 10 corners, get your 10 shots on target, and avoid yellow and red cards. If you basically focus those 5 things, and you're playing on a high difficulty, so you're aiming for the top 200. If you can play on Legendary or Ultimate and do those 5 things, most of the time, you are absolutely going to get the top 200 finish that you're chasing. But yeah, that is in fact going to do it from me, boys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If I missed anything, let me know down below. If you've got any questions about squad battles, leave them as well. I will be happy to answer anybody. And like I say, the gameplay videos will be coming. I just need a bit of time to get used to the game. You know, as I'm recording this, the game isn't even officially out yet. You know, we're on the Ultimate Edition. The actual full launch isn't even here yet. So, yeah. Thank you for watching, boys. And I'll see you again in the next one. Cheers, boys.